Today, Aunt Moo will show everyone how to process mangosteen into fermented mangosteen wine. We'll be using ready-made rice starter like this, which is easy to find. The starter can come in a jar or a bag like this, either works, or if anyone already makes their own rice starter at home, you can use that as well. This one is 200 grams. Today we'll also use syrup for fermentation, specifically Sunny Boy brand, which is easy to find and even available at 7-Eleven. We'll go and prepare the mangosteen flesh first. We'll come back and look at the next step. Now we've peeled 1 kilo of mangosteens. Take the inner skin like this, friends. Choose the one that's pink and light white. Oh, the skin is pink and white, pinkish, like this. And we'll use the mangosteen flesh too. Get ready with 1 kilo of skin. Auntie Moo, after peeling, you get a big bowl like this. We'll use 1 liter of water, pour it into a pot and boil it. Turn on the stove. For this step, you can use high heat. Once the water starts to get hot, as soon as it begins to heat up, add the mangosteen right in. After adding the mangosteen, once the water heats up again, we'll use 1 kilogram of white granulated sugar. We use white sugar because it gives the wine a beautiful color. Pour it in at this stage. Once you add the sugar, make sure to stir the bottom of the pot. Otherwise, the sugar might stick and burn, which would make it smell bad. For this recipe, we only need to heat it until the sugar dissolves. Now that the sugar has completely dissolved, you can turn off the stove. Now that we've turned off the stove, you might be wondering why I added the inner rind of the mangosteen. Do you know that the inner rind of mangosteen has tremendous health benefits? You can look it up on Google. The inner rind helps reduce inflammation in various wounds. Since it's so beneficial, that's why I included it in the mangosteen wine fermentation process. Next, we need to let the boiled mangosteen mixture cool down first, or you can just leave it at room temperature before moving on to the next step. I'll update you again soon. Now, we've let the boiled mangosteen water rest until it reaches room temperature. In this step, we'll add the Salac syrup. I'm using Sunny Boy Salac syrup. Just pour in 1 whole bottle. Pour the syrup in, then add the remaining water. I'm using drinking water, 5 liters. Just pour it all in. Next, I'm using yeast stone packet, which is 200 grams. We'll break it up first, just like this, to loosen it up. This helps it break apart quickly, just like this. Mix the ingredients together and it's done. Now we can pour it into the fermentation tank. Now we've poured the mixture into the fermentation tank. We don't need to shake the tank because we already mixed everything thoroughly in the basin, so it's already well distributed. When we close the lid of the tank, it should be loose like this, not tightly sealed. We'll put a sticker on it to note that this is mangosteen wine, started on August 21, 2024. We'll ferment it at room temperature for 20 days. After 20 days, I'll come back to update you on how our mangosteen wine turns out and whether the taste is to our liking. Stay tuned, everyone. Today, I'm here to give you an update on our mangosteen wine. I fermented it for a full 20 days, everyone. After 20 days, I'm satisfied with the taste, so now we'll go ahead and separate out the sediment and stop the yeast. You can filter it through a cloth strainer. Once you've finished filtering out the sediment, you can discard it. We won't be using it. As for the fermented mangosteen peel, it gives a fragrant and sweet flavor. Even after fermenting for 20 days, it still retains that sweet aroma with just a slight tang from the fermentation. The mangosteen pulp has a perfectly delicious taste. Today we won't be adding any more granulated sugar. However, if after fermenting for 20 days you taste it and find it very bitter, I'll show you how to adjust the flavor by adding white granulated sugar. If you taste your wine and it's only slightly bitter and astringent, add 30 grams of sugar. But if it's very bitter and very astringent, add 50 grams of white sugar. As for me, I like the flavor as it is today, so I won't be adding any more. The sweetness level varies for each person, and everyone's preferences are different. That's why we rely mainly on tasting. After tasting it at 20 days, I'm satisfied with the flavor. Now we can stop the yeast. Let's turn on the stove. Today, we're going to stop the yeast at 40 degrees C. When making wine, a thermometer is absolutely essential. While using the thermometer, you also need to stir the wine. We'll stir it so that the heat vapor rises up. Our thermometer uses an infrared sensor, so we need to keep the liquid moving to generate heat vapor. Otherwise, the thermometer won't be able to detect the temperature properly. Heating to 40 degrees C doesn't take long, about 1 to 2 minutes, depending on your stove at home. See, as we measure, you can watch the temperature gradually rise like this. Now, I've measured it at 40.1 degrees C, so we'll turn off the stove right away. Now that we've turned off the stove, we need to let the mixture cool to room temperature before pouring it into the fermentation tank. Do not pour the wine into the tank while it's still hot, because it will create steam and a white haze, which can cause the wine to develop a foul odor. Once the wine has reached room temperature, I'll come back to give you an update. Now that the mangosteen wine mixture has cooled down to room temperature, we can go ahead and pour it into the fermentation tank. Today, Aunt Moo will teach you all how to knock out yeast in 2 steps by adding potassium metabisulfite. Potassium metabisulfite, or its abbreviation KMS, is a stabilizing agent. It helps preserve the color and aroma, preventing them from changing from what we originally made. Potassium metabisulfite is a food additive and is safe to use. We add it in a very small amount, so there's no need to worry about any residue. For those who are making wine following Aunt Moo's recipe, which is about 5 to 6 liters, we will add 2 blue spoons of potassium metabisulfite like this. You can add it directly into the fermentation tank. This chemical dissolves quite easily. Once you put it into the wine tank, it dissolves immediately. All chemicals are hazardous, so do not inhale them and keep them out of reach of children. After adding the KMS, you can tightly close the lid of the tank because this is already the aging stage. After aging for 2 nights, you should check the tank. We check the tank like this. If you press down and the lid sinks in easily, you can continue aging at room temperature. But if after 2 nights the tank is swollen and the lid is tight and won't press down, that means sparkling wine is forming. In that case, you need to loosen the lid, just loosen it halfway, like when we were fermenting. Then you can continue the aging process. I will age mine at room temperature for about 2 weeks. Let's see what happens after 2 weeks. Our homemade mangosteen wine will turn out beautifully clear and appealing. Let's see just how drinkable it looks. Today, I'm here to give you an update on the mangosteen wine. We've been aging it at room temperature for 2 weeks, friends. After 2 weeks, I've got wine that's this clear. For this bottle, I already added potassium sorbate 7 days ago, and that's how you get wine this clear. Today, I'll show you how to bottle your wine by adding potassium sorbate. Potassium sorbate looks like this. It comes in stick-like pieces, similar to sugar cane, like this, not in stick form like this, but this is what the substance looks like. We add it to inhibit the growth of yeast, meaning it prevents the yeast from becoming active again. For usage for a 300 to 500 ml bottle, I use 1 spoonful of sorbate. If it's a large bottle like this one, 500 to 1000 ml, we use 2 spoonfuls of sorbate. We scoop 1 spoon and pour it into the bottle. The way to lift the wine barrel is to lift it by tensing your wrist, because if you lift it by tensing your wrist, the sediment at the bottom of the barrel will not come up. Just lift it and pour it. See, the sediment at the bottom of the container doesn't come up at all. Once we finish pouring, we can tightly close the bottle cap. Here, I've written a sticker to label it. Write down the details. As a record life, we made mangosteen wine and started fermenting it on August 21, 2024. Write this as a record like this, so when we store it at room temperature, we'll have all the information. 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, or even a year later, when we come back to check, we'll still have the record to read, so we won't forget. If you make a lot, it's easy to forget. So it's better to label it as a record. I'm just showing you an example with 1 bottle. If you make it at home, you can ferment it in a tank for up to a month before transferring it to bottles. Fermenting for 1 or 2 months is no problem at all. To get the clear syrup, let it sit for about 1 or 2 months before bottling. Since I'm making this video for instructional purposes, I'll only ferment it at room temperature for 2 weeks and then update all the members. That way, I can finish filming and edit the video quickly so everyone can follow along sooner. Today, we're going to taste the mangosteen wine we fermented and see how much we like the flavor. Friends, look at the color of my wine. Doesn't it look inviting? The aroma is wonderful. Let me give it a taste. Oh, friends, this one has such a fragrant scent that rises right up to your nose. Wow, it really warms your stomach and throat. There's a tingling heat from this fermented mangosteen wine. It has the astringency from the mangosteen pulp and a slight tartness from the mangosteen peel, along with a sweet and fragrant note from the mangosteen itself. For anyone who enjoys wine with a bold, tangy flavor, this one is just perfectus, really delicious. The aroma rises right up to your nose, and there's a slight sweetness that lingers on the tip of your tongue. It's truly a well-balanced and tasty wine. This fermented mangosteen wine also has a beautiful color. Just look at it, friends. My husband taught me to use potassium metabisulfite during the fermentation process. It helps preserve the aroma and flavor, preventing them from changing over time. When you age the wine for a long period or 2 years, the color of the wine will still remain beautiful. I also recommend that you add potassium sorbate during the bottling stage to inhibit yeast growth. Some people don't use these two additives at all, and when they age their wine for a long time, the color can change and the yeast might become active again. If the yeast wakes up and starts working, it can cause fizziness or pressure to build up, creating gas that could make the bottle explode. But if we add sorbate during the bottling stage, it inhibits yeast growth. It works to a certain extent, and then it will evaporate on its own. So we end up with wine of this quality. My husband taught me to use these two additives, which really help improve the quality of our wine. If you've watched Aunt Moo's video and found it enjoyable or useful, please give it a like to support me and share it widely so that other members can learn the correct way to make wine. My husband and I would also like to greet all our fans, both those living abroad and those here in the country. Please take care of your health, everyone. Aunt Moo cares about you. That's all for this video until we meet again. Goodbye.